Nice to see a robust autosave. Easy to rewind. Easy to review. Had a busy first week. We, the revolution. Citizen Capet is dead. Justice has been served. Long live the Republic. We're in good standings with the family, tolerated by the party, and beloved by the masses. And that's even with still a bit of personal grudge from the jury against us. So, what's on our desk today? Charges of corruption, nepotism, fraud, and treason. Sometimes passed since the liquidation of the Ferme Generale. King often legally collected liabilities from the people, usually with considerable interest. Then decided to try the former Fermier General commissioner. Well, a former member of the Fermier General, yes. Antoine Lavoisier. Earned his post through nepotism, collected taxes from starving peasants, was involved in all manner of business. Witnesses have claimed he was frequently trading in damp tobacco, sold at excessive prices. Not found any indication of the aforementioned adulteration documents, but it is widely discussed in the streets. He used money from taxes to finance a private laboratory where he carried out many chemical experiments. Parisian chemists vouched. Lavoisier here is a brilliant scientist. Alone does not mean treason, however. He's frequently corresponded with foreigners. And has sent them money collected from French peasantry. Has shared scientific knowledge with foreigners. That damp tobacco, though. Also, we have a report regarding said damp tobacco. a note of him advising against the risks of dampening tobacco. So that much seems unlikely. So let's see. Commoners want him decapitated. The party wants him set free. Also, this seems familiar. Yeah, this is another real person. Isolated several elements. So fresh off the execution of the king, we have another actual historic case we're being asked to play out. He was really historically charged with tax fraud and selling bad tobacco. And let's see, we have a report to fill out. Yeah, did he confess? Did he send money to foreign scientists? And what was he selling? Let's begin. Well, no, right, I have to begin by figuring out questions to ask. Alright, so our breakdown. Report about tobacco, scientific research, discussion of foreign scientists, his own reputation as a scientist, the accusations of fraud, his various business ventures, and the firm General itself. Which, get that out of the way. Fraud is an accusation. The report certainly stands as a piece of evidence in his favor. Could also be taken as a bit of a character material on his part. 3 questions left, so 1 each for each of these. How do we best categorize this? Would speak more to his personality, his reputation as being an especially good of science. Or to both? Having done this for science is extenuating circumstance? Yeah, if he's presenting his discoveries as, like, penance for his actions. As to why he should be spared the knife. That he is still of value to France. That he's paying back France. Nominally, there's no trap topics. There might be some redundancy. There might be a question we can reach by multiple means. These two seem to have very heavy overlap. He is a scientist, and he has done the science. Various businesses. Not a circumstance. Businesses speak to his personality. Research as a circumstance. So, interesting that these are Dove questions. I have a feeling, though, now that the mood gauge for the mob is present, that there's going to be more of... We know how these will influence the jury. We can't predict how they will influence the crowd. Even if he has a convincing legal argument to throw against these, the masses might not listen. Where to begin? Yeah, let's get right to one of the main points. Did you embezzle? He's confessed to one thing. We asked, he answered. Flat out, finally, a yes. So, on to the next point. Foreigners. Not really. Not really, Antoine. That's kind of mischaracterizing. The firearm predates scientific method and most what even this era would recognize as the intelligentsia as an institution in society. It's kind of disingenuous to retroactively attribute inventions of prior social paradigms to science. But let's continue. Also that. Yeah, so by his admission, Did send money, but his own or from the treasury? Hmm. Like, yeah, outright. Wizards invented gunpowder. And really, wizards invented most of the foundations of metallurgy. So about the tobacco. Well, okay, so that question is just, okay, what was even going on? Yes, that. Our remaining mystery is, did he spend his own money on science? We have a bit more outrage left to spend before we get a riot. And let's see, just to calibrate things here. Execution, yeah, the masses would love that, but the masses already love us. Prison, slightly negative response from both sides. Acquittal would bring us down to just mild positive on both sides of things. Alright, so he defends that he used only private funds for scientific endeavors. I see no need for further questions. Or I could try to nudge him into prison. This man is no threat to the Republic, though he is plainly far from innocent. Let him have time to repay his debts. Historically, Lavoisier was executed. His wife, who was a fellow scientist and powerful contributor to the research of the era, preserved his legacy. What do you mean he didn't confess? I asked him, and he said yes. Nothing counts as a confession. There we go, the two automatic answers. They never confess, and everything is counter-revolutionary. So to remind previously, we made decisions, and sometime afterwards, a fellow member of the establishment met his end. We're now in a position to nominate a successor. So yeah, the rest of the family is in an excellent mood. Yeah, it's grandpa time. Pay attention to Aldrich. Hmm. A smiling, severed head. Just laying on the ground. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. A mystery. What is this? That's Paris.
A Paris of a new era. Weak, vulnerable to attacks. Waiting for someone to reach for power. Waiting for someone who, once again, will take control of its soul. The pawns are now in play.
So, there were two further things I knew about the rest of the flow of the game. This is one of them. Now that things proper have begun, there's going to be kind of a territory control game going on the side as we move about the city, as we flex our influence. We've been invited to supervise construction of a statue. Controlling parts of the city grants influence. Opposition can disrupt our ability to influence the city. And individual mood bars for different parts of the city. Cruiser and a diplomat. Yes, we have one section under control. One opposing section controlled by an unknown hostile force. And an 11-day countdown. Well, okay, the people are in charge over here and they are friendly towards us. And unknown factions control everything else along the riverside. So if I send a diplomat over, try and build influence there, and our bruiser up to the riverside to scout. Seems like a fine enough start. We'll see how that goes. Oh, and then also we have things to do. Yeah, just rocks. Rocks and swords. We get a building and then unlock more buildings as we finish projects. Juan helps us in court. Hideout helps our agents. Printing house lets us do political things. And home is home. We don't need more family time right now. I don't think we're spending anything here at the moment. But I need to keep an agent back here in order to be working on the statue. I'll just leave things as they are.
A bloody beginning. A violent prologue announced by a flowing red curtain. The wrath of strangers made me sick to my stomach. Feet stirred dark puddles. The air tasted like iron. Their heads, someone cried. Anger hidden in the shadows. Thousands of cries from a single throat. Here was a beast with hundreds of claws and teeth. A kicked, abused, and physically wounded soul. Their heads! What a cold and urgent order. The beast's eyes showed a long-disguised bitterness, yesterday's envy. It has waited too long to show mercy now. Too long covering its ears while others laughed at its inadequacies and feebleness. The beast's bark was filled with 1,000 smiles of those who worship this bloody morning. The day when their enemies will perish. Their brothers.
Just France things. Another day. Everyone wants you to face the knife. Find out why. Still 7 overall reputation. -3 on the revolutionaries, 9 with the commoners. And okay, these timers go to 0. So tomorrow, the jury will finally get over that one insult. Numbers-wise, we're doing pretty good. crimes of treason, monarchism, pedophilia, and financial fraud. The wife of citizen Louis Capet, Marie Antoinette, 38-year-old Austrian, came to France at the age of 14 to wed the 16-year-old Louis. Yep, ruled the country poorly. Tried to escape, captured. Everything we heard before during the trial of Capet. Naturally accused of conspiring to rebuild the monarchy. And accused of having given French military secrets to the Austrians. Accused of harassing her own 8-year-old son, young Louis Charles. Looking for a confession, looking for counter-revolution. And some supporting information. Get a few simple connections out of the way. Well, alright. That's not particularly motive. Yeah, that's personality. No? Alleged promiscuity as personality. Kind of an issue here that, yeah, a bunch of these are, yep, these are events we know happened. I'll go back in there and consider fishing for our remaining questions. I do have influence to burn on getting some more guesses here. So she's accused of manipulating Barnov. So that should hook to accusation. Although we're also at 4 questions for 3 concepts, so one of these gets to double dip. Alright, the sun is both personality and... Or no, Barnov is 2 things. Barnov is personality and motive. That's a surprising number of dubs on this question sheet. How? Also, yeah, the neutral... This question provokes a secondary question, which we can't predict the outcome of. A flexible question. That could go either way. Hmm. That didn't do much yet. The jury will remain undecided for a couple of questions. You don't get immediate feedback on your influence. Well, we now have the testimony of an 8-year-old. Yeah, let's get the freebies out of the way there on the after-action report. Let's talk about Barnov. Surprising that pressing about this isn't important enough to be on the report. Did she waste money, and was she having an affair? Those are on the questionnaire, but not the actual treason. We had proof 2 days ago. That's still on file. We have an entire safe of proof what you were up to. I can believe she wasn't having an affair. We have a new entry on the board. Media presence. Oh. Oh. He is our rival. And since we have influence banked, they're they are attached to the crime, withdrawn from the defendant, and today indifferent about the revolution. So, be humble, be manipulative, be careless. 2 out of 3. Need to guess on what they're hoping for here. I would suppose if not humility, then manipulation would be it. It's very vague what this even means. Well, even if I guess wrong on the opener, these two in the green should be fine to salvage it. Manipulation is strong. Careless is perfect. Maybe it's just supposed to be straight line careless. Positive. Ah, okay, so I can spend family time working on the statue. Slightly irritating everyone, but getting some work done. Or I could just go gambling. Let's work on the statue. That seems like something to invest in. And it's only a slight dip. We'll make it up to him. Alright, we have an enemy diplomat trying to get up to trouble, so I should send also Clovey. Take him out. Have our influence over neighborhood. And revolutionary influence by the river, where a monument is also being built. And we have this intrigue button. So we have a progress bar in which we need to generate notches in order to successfully riposte this scheme. Hmm. Yeah, so I don't have the influence on hand right now because I spent those 2 points on the speech. So we just talk to Code all day? When he is withdrawn on the subject. Withdrawn has usually meant manipulation is the right idea. That's been consistent. I can't think of anything that costs 1 influence left that I would want to do out here on strategy layer, for now at least. So let's go ahead and buy into bullheaded about carrot and stick. We probably wouldn't respond to threats. He'd just get mad. So relax on that front. Or not. Perfect, strong. Maybe humility? Hmm. Alright. We have a hook. spreading of rumors, either by notes or by violence. Clovis is busy busting heads right now. I feel like that would influence his ability to get in here. So, yeah, let's have Dave. %100 chance of victory. Although probably involvement over there isn't directly corresponding to our tokens. I might still be able to send him places to do stuff. Statue is going at 3%. Definitely need to be on the lookout for an opportunity to get more agents. Yeah, you shouldn't be in combat. That's not your job. Yeah, more scouting, I guess. I want to find out more of what's going on in the rest of the city. Or wait, okay, I was misreading. Controlling this will speed up monument construction. Let's get into that, and then when Clovis doesn't have anyone to beat up, I'll have him resume scouting. Alright, a bunch of our debuffs have cleared. Situation is pretty good. Saint-Just is still out there slandering us. Bound to happen. Monsieur Henriot. Available. There's Dave. And today's case, a simple assault. Or maybe a complicated assault. Let's see. Evening, Valis near the Pantheon. Near the Pantheon. Rolled up to fight between two elegant men. Approached, saw that one of them, elderly and gray-haired, was standing over his fallen opponent, shouting angrily and kicking him. Three soldiers were involved in detaining the brawlers. Two ragged and bleeding men were taken to the nearest station. Judged that neither of them had been drinking that evening. Professor babbled incoherently. Only two words could be discerned: dictionary and plagiarism. And later asked to repeat his statement. The man said that he was robbed. The man's name is Leonard Pomeroy. Alive, but will not be able to talk for some time due to his injuries. There is one trap. We have one mistake. So, a brawl transpired. The alleged theft could be an extenuating circumstance, or rather, motive? Motive. Not motive. The ragged, bloody clothing sounds irrelevant. Like, of course, they were bloody and beat up. They had a fight. Some manner of prolonged, vigorous fight. Although, engaging the theft was not the trap. Well, we have influence to burn now. Those extra points coming in per day. But rather not use them in court. Okay, so theft is supposed to be an extenuating circumstance. Theft is his excuse. Dictionary as motive. The lack of wine may also be irrelevant. Dictionary as motive. Lack of wine, course of events. No, lack of wine was the trap. Why is bloody clothing relevant? What does that add to the situation? Alright, at least the general populace isn't particularly upset about this. They'd rather I cut this man in half, but not too strongly. Let's get a read on what the verdicts are worth. This is a pretty low stakes case. Did he confess? Why did he attack? What did the offender want? And what is his excuse? Alright, but why get into a fist fight over a dictionary? Like a prolonged, extended, you broke this man's bones even though you yourself are pretty old. You're both pretty old. Was that a confession? Does that count? Is that real? Makes sense. I find it weird that the revolutionaries want to let him go. I guess they just have a general pro-academic slant, even though we just got this guy to him. And also he's from an institution that predates the revolution. Do you think there'd be some funk about that? And he attacked a member of the party, or at least someone more affiliated with the party than he is. Seems like these are backwards today. Regardless. Find this man unfit to be wandering the streets.
Do you want to show me a common dead body?
It's not just a dead body. Look at that necklace.
A fleur-de-lis.
There's more. hidden under his clothes. We found a message in the inner pocket of his cloak. It's an order. Someone told that man to build support for a mysterious R in the district.
Who is arrogant enough to take Louis' place?
Only aristocrats are powerful enough to secretly organize people like him.
Even they would need help from someone in the convention. So who is R?
Robespierre, maybe? If he's allying with aristocrats, we must tell someone. Everyone.
It could be Minister Roland. As long as we are not sure, we would only create panic.
If that's the case, we'll have to hunt down other agents. This one won't be telling us anything.
We have no other choice. If this R is trying to gain support, you must do the same, for the greater good.
Classic Paris. Hmm. Teach Bernard about law. Yeah, gotta do something beneficial for the family. That's not a great option for trying to salvage Aldrich. And again, out of everybody on the Aldrich is the person I'm most willing to keep in the red. I get pretty good reputation with the masses just from throwing enough people under the knife. So I think we take a walk. Hmm. You stop that. You cool off right this minute. Got that 2% monument progress coming in off of that district. Our diplomat is going scouting. We check on the intrigue. We successfully spread rumors. We already have our basic victory over Roland. For 2 more points, though, we can go further. Mara, Danton, and Grace Elliott. I can afford diplomats. And then just try to talk to the others? Withdrawn, indifferent, unknown. Green, green, red. So, what will she get out of it? Don't have much of a read on Grace. Don't entirely recall what her blurb was on the hierarchy. Hmm. Alright, rebuffed there. How about Mara? Who is carefree about what he gets out of this. But we have no idea what he wants or why he wants it. Not casual about that. Get mad? Maybe. Yeah, so I would need 3 strong arguments to really push someone into supporting me on this front. Hmm. Crush bones or counter gossip? We'll see how it goes. And with 2 influence left today, I could double up on family events. Whatever that does. Spend more time with family, which will do something. Maybe just generally boost family opinion? I don't know if I can bank influence. I've been acting under the assumption that I don't, and have to generate fresh influence each day. You know, after the fact, remind myself, right, Morale's the newspaper man. And Elliot is our high-class courtesan. Involved in diplomacy and people smuggling. Yeah, even through this much modifier, the mob is still reasonably alright with us. So, third faction. The aristocrats are now known. 5 overall reputation. Oh, no. Child, why? You're fine. Regardless. For the crime of murder. Bruno Hugo, 26. Room working for an influential aristocrat. Quarrel was seen to push his employer down the stairs, resulting in the aristocrat's death. Known village idiot, Bruno Hugo. Testified Dothmar had returned from a ride, displeased with the way that Bruno had prepared the horse. Saddle had become loose. He almost fell. He called for Bruno in order to scold him, began insulting him. Acting on impulse, Bruno pushed his employer away. As a result, foot of the stairs with a twisted neck. So, one of these is a trap. I'd guess it would be probably the loose saddle. I mean, it is a fact of the case, but not one that's particularly relevant. Okay, so by groom there, highlighted. That referring to the second employee. Yeah, village idiot, return from a ride. That is referring to groom. I guess, where are we getting that point even? Yeah, we have the return from the ride as an event. The groom, that's the trap option. That doesn't come up. The struggle provides his motive. Things escalated. Unless this is referring to that second employee, in which case groom is a witness, although the art seems to be depicting him, so that's more a matter of who he is. Personality? No. Groom is itself the trap data. Confession, counter-revolutionary, reason behind the argument. Does the defendant understand the indictment? So something in this speaks to the method. Something in this is related to witnesses. If this were course of events and not method, because like the fight is what escalated into the shove. Method, yes. So the return from the ride, that contains the witnesses, and the loose saddle was a material fact. So the aristocrats would like to see this man dead, the revolutionaries would just like him imprisoned. Commoners and our family would rather he go free. Indeed. So, yes to the confession? Though I could see a level where the fact that he doesn't understand what is happening would invalidate. He's not competent to stand trial, so nothing he says can be a confession. Really needs to have, like, a set of criteria written out for what, strictly speaking, is a confession. You know, such as exists in a legal system. I don't think this man can confess to anything. There has been no crime this day. Orphanage. Everyone loves Orphanage. Everyone loves Orphanage. Alright, good. Riot Quelled. So we'll have that influence today. We'll have that influence tomorrow. More influence to be had here. Hostile agent. Down the way. Break his legs. And then, yeah, let's just try to garner more influence. Our immediate adjacent territory seems pretty good for just establishing core resources. Or any, well, back up. How rowdy are folks in our immediate vicinity? Reasonably rowdy. Pretty warm. Yeah, let's try to extend our influence. Let's beat up this rogue agent. Especially since it's another diplomat that we're catching out off guard. 5% statue progress. What of intrigue? Alright, we successfully dispelled those rumors. We're up to 3 notches. One more point and we can just get in there. Spread gossip or bust heads. Raid secret brothel or just out secret brothel. It's a bit of an open question. Because if it's a well-run operation, they have plans to deal with either of these. Like, the fact that they are operating, they have customers who would already know. So if we release rumors to the wrong crowds, that ends up being neutral. You know, maybe they're ready for a raid. Maybe they don't keep much evidence of what they do. Maybe they have a good front for deniability. Also, yes, from Raid in the Mind Space, if we're French politicians here in the Revolution in the turn of the century, yeah, of course everyone has a mistress. 70% chance of successful raid. Yeah, so we're extending influence, doing a fight, and 4 influence left that I could spend. What does facilitate the persuasions mean? What does that do? Must do a lot if it's worth 4 points, but what is that? I would guess it boosts, you know, intrigue interactions. So that would also seem weird since you can already spend influence during your persuasions. Family time. And we'll be left with 2 points to see if they carry over to the next day. If we can get the family in a good enough mood, then we can spend time on the statue and really try to get this complete. Or at least 20% complete. Then it starts to do things. Unlock more of these buildings. We can have more options. Active enemy presence out here. So I end up at 5. Aegis just keeps going. 7 overall rep. High commoners, low revolutionaries, low aristocrats. Yeah, so you don't get to bank influence. Influence is a day-to-day resource. Consider today's case of treason, theft, fraud, and monarchism. Marquis de Favre, 46-year-old aristocrat, former soldier, known political activist. Left the army, married and started traveling with his wife. Returned in 1789, took part in a conspiracy that was supposed to put an end to the revolution. For judgment, decided to confide. Former comrades betrayed him and informed the authorities. Suspected in playing a part in Citizen Cabot's escape from France. Asked to take out a loan of 2 million francs, which would have covered all the expenses of Citizen Cabot and his family on their way out of France. And just reminders about that scheme. 30,000 soldiers would have entered the capital with orders to kill 3 political leaders. Finance Minister Jacques Necker, Mayor of Paris Jean-Sylvain Bailly, and Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard Francois Henriot. The next step was to block food supplies from entering the city. Favre and his wife detained, accused of plotting against the people of France in the revolution, and will likely be sentenced to the guillotine. Count of Provence has denied having any connections with them. And there is a letter from a... Oh. Today's questions: confession, counter-revolution. What do they think of the revolution, and what were the 2 million francs spent on? 7 questions to find. Alright, so that is our letter. So we have that in evidence. Former soldier would be a mark of his personality. The trap might be as simple as an idea that's not actually from the documents. Or so we have here the letter, the loan, few points about time spent with his wife, his soldiering, his monarchist sympathies, and conspiracy. On that front, the return to Paris would be uninvolved. Why his wife would matter? Probable co-conspirator? Accusation of conspiracy? The loan was also brought up as evidence. Wouldn't call the loan an accusation. The loan either happened or it didn't. Oh, that could be the twist, though. I think that's the out. If, though he was approached with supporting the king's scheme, well, let's see. Supporting of his wife, personality. We accuse you of being married happily. The highest crime. Do you have any information about the said wife? Not really. Just that she exists. This man has no mistress. He is a clear enemy of the Republic. Loan. I have guesses to burn. You counter revolt with the loan. You are accused. You were motivated by the loan? Motive of get that money. Your wife is counter-revolutionary, apparently. Weird. So, on the board, the mob and the government would like this man to be chopped. The aristocrats would like to see him go free. And this is what we want to learn. And just to kind of gauge things here. Really, no blue shift from the desired execution. Weird. Yeah, huge hit if he walks away. Minor hit if he takes prison instead. Really nothing? Nothing from the party about this man on any subject? Despite the icon? That seems odd. Citizen, please. The streets of Paris are always covered in blood. That's how we like it. So about the money. About the 2 million franc. Which, take a moment here. found an unusually wiggly currency converter. But does not have data available for what I intend to compare. Interesting. Interesting. And yes, some folks have dug up rough estimates that would be billions of current day currency. That's big money. That's treason money. Hmm. Hmm. Do now have your testimony as an expert. The 2 million francs would suffice to hire 30,000 soldiers. just imprisoning him would give us the tiniest bit of a buffer against the aristocracy in exchange for a manageable hit to our commoner rep. Commoner rep is very easy to repair. Tell me about your wife. Who is Austrian? Pretty sure it was some manner of bug that none of those influenced Blue Opinion. Pretty sure Blue Opinion should have been not completely still.
Why? Tell me. What have you done? You. Why are you making me suffer?
Sleep. I'm by your side.
Who are you? I do not want to sleep. Not yet. I remember now. I have a family. Where are you? The one who makes me suffer.
Well then. Monsieur Ramel. Yeah, I have a feeling that either approach to our intrigue would end up here anyway. These are serious people who play for big stakes. The mayor and the archbishop are taking a cut of this. Alright, good work from our agent. Patrols would hassle our agents. And another enemy diplomat has walked directly into Clovey. Oh, our action was put on hold. It didn't advance. It's going to take longer. Okay. Yeah, so the stabbing just now was unrelated. 7% of our statue is up. 5 influence to spend. I will scout the island. Things are pretty warm back there, but that seems steady. Doesn't seem like I can do anything to invest in the outlying districts themselves. My diplomat can claim sectors or calm people down. Clovey is stuck out there. Yeah, he's actually pinned down by being in that fight. And this is the end of the day. I don't get to bring this influence with me. So spend time with the family. Yeah, there's nothing more to be done there. Can't dump influence directly into the statue, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'll need to spend 1 day actively helping with the statue to hit stage 1 before this inspection. And a lot more days helping with the statue. I'm not sure what happens at inspection day. We'll see. If I find another construction district, that would help a lot. Some of these have little fringes on them. Special events, maybe. My statue. No trial today? Hey, 4% build progress. Also, that's kind of rude for the patrol to just chunk over there. Hopefully I get to make a move and respond to that. Now he's locked down. And must try to persuade his way out of captivity? Though I can also bribe for 3. Let's get back to that in a moment. So, enemy diplomat, just try to give us guff. But Clovey can't get in there? Limits on move speed, I guess. Or because he's coming out of contested territory? 9% statue progress. If I boost persuasion for slightly more than it costs to just bribe the patrol and be on my way. What can you do in a fight? Greg Rommel, my spy. I would think spy defeats diplomat in a brawl. Yeah, let's just bribe here. And try to get that juicy +4 construction out of the river. Rough. We still have our basic success in this. Question of if we can claim that bonus. We have one last chance. One final counter intrigue. We have a partial list of suspects. Do we arrest Jill? Or arrest his wife? Who do we seize and who do we let slip away? When we do have Grace's word that she's the real mastermind here. She's the driving force, but also formally she doesn't hold any office or power. That's a lot of numbers. Another busy week.
The verdict was just a formality. For such mutilation of another person, I could have only sentenced the accused to death. Your father came to me and begged for his firstborn's life. I did not know what to do. I spent that night thinking about the case. Eventually, I burnt the files. I told your father to banish Bruno from the city, then sell his stall to those he was at odds with, the Reynards. He was also supposed to give part of that money to the family of the wounded boy. Your father agreed to everything. I remember the eyes of your brother when he was banished from his home. But his father did not have a choice. It was the only way to save his son.
Damn. Looking good. Also, revolutionary mood improved. I guess maybe it was just failing to display positive effect on the old blue bar. A good kid. Accused of corruption, treason, monarchism, pandering, and attempted murder. Wow, 3 pages. We got a lot of case file here. Oh, as we know, Jean-Marie Roland, wife of a known sympathizer with the late Citizen Capet, accused of corrupting deputies of the convention. Did not formally take part in politics, as expected. But then, who does? Supposedly hosted a salon. Known to have been a brothel. For those of status. Now imagine going through like the last week's effort and getting stabbed in the gut to get this woman into court, just to then immediately let her go as a favor. Gathered information and gossip regarding her involvement with her husband's career. Has worked to win support of the minister's opponents. Findings have been confirmed by Isabel Dugar. Worked for the defendants under the alias Giselle. Testified that Madame Roland has many times hosted 3 men. While she did not know their names, she unhesitatingly referred to them as scum of the deepest dye. Certainly make a link between these personalities and the 3 assassins who attacked Judge Fidel. Piece of the gossip about Madame Roland being one of the pillars of the coup d'etat by the Gondan. It's true. Must be very good at lying to keep everything undercover. So we got lies, we got the coup, we have extensive knowledge, members of the convention, we have our witness, we have 3 criminals, we have our own attempted murder. The salon, her absence from formal political life, and mention of the brothel. No other case files in our rapport. With crimes counter-revolutionary, always. We already know that it was a salon. How does she explain suspicious men showing up at her establishment? And can we get the name of at least one politician bribed by the accused? So, here's what we have to work with. We have our witness. We have some methods. Brigands. Not a point against her personality. Instead, part of her methods? Motivated by the coup. Yeah, most of this is method. Attacking us is not a method. What is it? Is it personality? Exclusion from politics, that's personality. Okay, people are really relaxed about this case. No strong opinions out in the field. It's a very calm day. Well, let's get our witness in. These seem to be two very similar, almost identical questions. I guess this one puts less of a burden on the witness. Just, were you suspicious, rather than, can you demonstrate? Can you prove? Give her more wiggle room. Any opinion, bringing opinion into it. We got a name. Pierre Vergniaud. So about these bandits. Fruit sellers. Let me close the notifications so I'm not blotting out the prosecutor. Just a run-of-the-mill brothel. It's not a brothel. It's just a building where people can go purchase sexual favors routinely. Also, you don't even run a good brothel. Got this testimony that you let the customers rough up your girls. That's just rude. Respect your talent. No further questions. See, this guy gets it. Says what we're all thinking. I am the people's servant. Two down. Carefree attitude toward the crime. Sensitive about the defendant. Seven is a lot of influence to spend. I don't really have an influence sync on the strategy map yet, so yeah, let's snap this open. Attached to the revolution. Do I get mad? We get mad. Do we go mad? No. Perfect, but incorrect. But it's probably not manipulate, so I would say between carefree and humble, it would be humble for attached. Okay, slight negative, but not enough to shake the crowd. I have not once put work into the trial. I've got to wonder how different the cases can become if you devote yourself to your work. Having your family hate you doesn't appear to be a failure condition. It just indirectly contributes to your other ways things can go wrong, just by having your reputations tank. I've got to wonder what the workaholic professional run looks like, where you just always be studying the material, vanish into your office and never be seen again. That could be neat. There could be like hidden subplots in a bunch of the cases. Now though, my statue. Good stuff. Of course. Musician. Okay, so a neutral piece that just gets people rowdy in general, but isn't working for any side. So I would want to lure musicians into enemy territory to disrupt their actions. And then otherwise, I don't need to bust up the musician. And send Clovey forward to start scouting. Diplomat double back and claim this sector, keeping him very far from the Revolutionary Patrol. And shoring up most of this side of the river. Base 6% build speed. Statue's going to move very fast now. Yeah, so it would be another 14 days at the passive rate I have available. Only 10 if I'm able to really bite in. And either we're getting that first step of progress. That's happening regardless. 6 influence to throw around. So, my spy do what? Maybe lure the patrol? Get them to arrest the musician? Or I have him go scouting. Just zip across the river and take a look around. Give me more intel. I want to see the rest of the board. It wouldn't take too much time to just put down a riot. Nah. Way up there in the business sector. And an aristocrat. And even if a riot does flare up and persist there for a while, I'm getting more influence than I'm able to apply. No new intrigues available at the moment. We are free of intrigue. 4 days until inspection. Another busy week. Thanks. Thanks, Robespierre. Official decree from the Parliament, from the Assembly. We're not killing enough. It's going to be another busy week. Next